Alright, so today we're installing the GR intake on the 86. I initially was not planning on doing any kind of engine upgrades on this car, mainly just quality of life stuff, which you've pretty much already seen. But they had 40% off of GR and TRD parts on Toyota.com, so I could not pass up the opportunity to pick up this intake, which I think performance-wise is like the best one from what I've seen. I've seen these dyno rated to plus 7 horsepower. I'm not really doing it for any kind of power increase. I'm mainly doing it for just a little bit of dress up for the engine bay, and whatever power increase comes with it, comes with it. I honestly do not care. It does have a oiled air filter, and then I think you can keep the paper air filter that's somewhere around here. I'll probably show it a little bit later. Or you can take it off to get a little bit more power. I'm honestly once again not concerned with power. I'm gonna keep both of them on because of the filtration from the paper filter versus just having the oil filter. I've seen some installs done on this car, and it seems pretty simple. I mean, once you've installed one intake or airbox, you've pretty much done them all, and I don't expect this to be any different than any of that. So I'm just gonna kind of go through it and let you know what I think about it, and hopefully this doesn't take too long. Alright, so yeah, here's my bone stock engine as it should be, because my car only has less than 200 miles on it. I think it's just about 200 miles. This thing's not even broken in, not even close to broken in, and I don't expect it to be over 1,000 miles anytime soon, which kind of makes it a little ridiculous for me to put on this intake. But since it is the actual GR intake, I feel less bad about it. Like if it was a normal cold air intake, then I probably wouldn't do it, but what the hell, it was a good deal, so we're gonna do it. Okay, so this is pretty much everything that came in it. Just gonna open it up real quick and show you. So this is the part of the airbox that has the paper filter, and there's a zip tie, which I don't know what is for yet. Gonna find out soon. But there is the paper filter, and this is going to run obviously to the engine. The coupler goes here into the intake manifold. Here's the front part of the airbox. The main reason I bought this because it has the GR logo on it, which I thought looked pretty cool. Okay, some hardware. These are actually the latches for the airbox. Here is the front part, and has the GR logo on it. We have the red coupler, and we have the oiled air filter, which I'm pretty sure this is just like a K&N air filter. As you can see, it's got a much more open design in the airbox. Like the stock airbox has like 2 channels in it that are broken up and split, and a much smaller air filter, whereas this is just one large airbox. Obviously has that paper filter. I'm keeping that on once again, but you can take that off if you want to. I just like for like 2 horsepower, I don't really see why you would. And okay, so here it is. It looks like we're gonna need a 12mm socket and maybe some pliers to take off like the hoses, and a flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver, and I think that is it. I'm gonna kind of walk you through everything that I do. Once again, I haven't looked at any instructions, but you've done one, you've done them all. Okay, so I lied. It's a 10mm and not a 12. So there's one here, there's one right here, and there's one right there. Everything is so nice and new. I feel bad installing this on a brand new car. Discretion is advised, because like any little thing and they'll void your warranty, which hope to God they don't void my warranty. Okay, so there are rubber grommets attached to each of the screw points that I'm gonna have to reuse, so make sure that you don't go yeet on this and toss those. Okay, I'm just gonna take off the MAF sensor completely because you have to replace it into the new one. Make sure we don't lose these little screws. I'm gonna leave that right there for right now, but the MAF sensor is off. I might just yank everything out all at once. Pull this out. Just comes out just like that, no problem. Take off tube, just loosen it. That thing was already really loose. Oh yeah, just if you're having trouble with this, just kind of turn it, loosen, turn, and then it'll come right off. Okay, so the MAF sensor is secured with a little clip. Oh, you know what? If you just depress one of the pins on the inside, it'll just come right out. Okay, so because I don't want the MAF sensor to just be sitting there in the open, I'm just gonna replace it here. Just let it kind of sit in the airbox while I prep the other airbox, the front end. This is out. This will just kind of hang out here for now. Just sit in there. Okay, so stock airbox. We've got these grommets here, which I think I can pretty much just pull out by hand, hopefully. Maybe, maybe not. So there's a little metal piece in each of the grommets. Yeah, you can just punch out the metal piece, which I'll use a screwdriver. Punch out the little metal inner ring, and it all comes out much easier. So for right now, I'm just gonna put the intake hose right back on to the throttle body, just to cover up the throttle body a little bit while I'm working. There is a keyed portion on the intake hose, which is keyed for the throttle body. This hose requires quite a bit of effort to push in, but you can get it all the way in so that it sits flush. Don't let it just hang out there. Disconnect it a little bit. Make sure that you put it all the way back on. You'll know which side goes in the front. It's kind of grooved in a way that you can't mistake it for one side. And that should go no problem. Just like that. Easy as that. Okay, so I did that a little prematurely. The airbox is on, but there's this little grommet right here. And this grommet goes right there. Just got a little trim tool that I'm gonna use. Yeah, this would definitely be easier with the airbox out of the way, but I don't care. The clips for the airbox. Reconnect the MAF sensor, which actually clips right back in to this new point. And I'm pretty sure this is what the zip tie is for. So that clips right back on. Then we screw on the MAF sensor. There's an arrow on the mass airflow sensor in the direction that you're supposed to connect it, so you can't mess that up. Should have put these slip fasteners on before, but it's not that big a deal to get them on. I could just get it through. Now we only have 2 bolts to replace, one here and one in the front here. Okay, so I've done this part like 3 times now, just trying to get the right audio, but I think the best way to showcase the sound is just straight up from inside the cabin, because that's how you're gonna hear it. And it doesn't really matter what people from the outside hear, I guess. So let's get this thing going. Hopefully that's coming through okay. Car's already warm. Oh man, the sun's freaking blinding me. Okay, so the butt dyno says that the power is actually noticeable, and like I haven't even had this car for very long, obviously under 200 miles, and I noticed that the throttle response it's noticeably better with the cold air intake. I don't know if I'm really getting that much horsepower gain, but the butt dyno says that we're getting better throttle response. Now, as far as like any audible gain, like I don't really think you're gonna get a whole lot, honestly, with the closed cold air intake. And that's not the main reason why I got it. I know some people care about that. For me, not a big deal. Maybe a little bit there, a little bit of induction noise. That was pretty much wide open throttle in 3rd gear. I'm really just trying to not rev it out, because the car is like, obviously it's pretty much brand new and not even broken in. So I hope you can see why I wouldn't want to just bang the red line. But maybe a little bit throatier in terms of like the induction noise. You'd probably notice it more if you didn't have an exhaust. My exhaust is pretty loud. It's the GR quad tip exhaust, and it's pretty audible. So that was 2nd gear, not quite wide open throttle, but pretty hard acceleration, and like I said, minimal auditory gain, but you do notice it on the butt dyno, better throttle response. So I think for me, it's worth it. Looks nice, kind of like OEM plus, I guess. And I'm happy with the price that I paid for it, like 40% off. It was like under $300 for me, which was insane. And I think if you can get it for that price, maybe even 25% off, totally worth buying. Better throttle response, probably better gas mileage. Is that worth $300, $400. I don't know, it just kind of depends on who you are. For me, it's worth it, I guess. So that's pretty much it. Easy install, done in an hour. And if you guys want to see more GR86 content, let me know. If you want to see more GR Super content, let me know. And of course, if you want to see more CTR content, also let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, helps out. I'm trying to really grow this channel. And every subscribe, every like, every share helps out immensely. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.